Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. I'm with my co-host Brett Miller, Peninsula Sotheby's. I'm Nelson. You can contact us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. I feel like I need to thump that number out for you, Brett. So you got it all right?
Help me here, guys.
We're talking about becoming better, and part of that is something that Stephen Wright mentioned when we were talking middle reliever for the Boston Red Sox, and he was talking about the difference between AAA and the pros, and he said that the pros pay attention to the little things.
That's the only way to get by.
And so in that context of becoming better, I want to welcome Greg Reese, the president of AmeriEstate Legal Plan. Greg, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Nelson. Great to be here, Brett.
Hey,
great to meet you.
Where I'm going with that is that so many people, especially in their middle age, their 40s, 50s, they know the value of an estate plan, and it's, I got to get to that. And in Brett's case, in his 70s, going, I should have gotten to that. But it's something that we need to pay attention to in the car. I know you're gonna.
Hey, that's okay. We'll go outside. We'll see who's 70.
Yeah. So I want to know, though, in terms of some of the examples of where that proactive planning really comes into play, and something that we talked about before we came into the studio today was about that becoming incapacitated. And, you know, the impact of that. Okay, maybe the breadwinner, one spouse or the other. Something happens, life gets in the way, and now what?
Well, I think you're hitting on a great topic as far as getting better. As you get better, you got to solidify your position before you can advance and improve again. In the realm of estate planning and building your business, building your career, you've got to establish some protections for yourself. You buy your house, you're going to get insurance. That's for if it burns down. But what about your family? How are you protecting them? How are you protecting yourself in case you become incapacitated? Oftentimes, you're dealing with husband and wife. They've got kids. They've got a dream. They've got a home. What if sudden injury or illness strikes and one of the spouses is incapacitated? The other spouse needs to have some flexibility, some maneuverability. Move, make decisions, sell, refinance, whatever it takes. If you don't have the proper estate planning documents in place, such as a living trust and powers of attorney, you could be stuck. You could wind up in the courts who are making decisions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Today's living trust, do they have that kind of specific, all the if, what, if, then kinds of scenarios?
Well, absolutely. But like anything, it should be properly and professionally prepared. You just can't rely on a do-it-yourself option because they can't.
Online kit. That's
an online kit. They can't contemplate, your specific needs and your specific options. So you do have to have it professionally prepared.
Doesn't estate planning also allow for passing the property on to your children as you leave this earth and they start to take over the reins? Doesn't that allow that passage of the property to be a lot more streamlined without being encumbered by the court or controlled by the court?
Well, absolutely. If you had a choice to let the court decide how you're going to pass your stuff on,
they're going
or
to
do
get
it yourself,
45% of it, right?
They're going to get a big chunk of it. Then living trust is awesome because it avoids probate, number one, which saves a ton of money, up to 10% of the gross value of your estate, and up to 18 months or 2 years to settle out before your children get anything. So absolutely, it's a great option.
I also think a point that a lot of people miss with this kind of thing is that it also allows you a bit of anonymity where you can stand behind something so somebody can't do a property search and see where you live or who owns that property right off the bat. I did a property search the other day. I had 3 professional athletes pop up on the MLS on the tax search, and they were high-end athletes, very marquee names. I wouldn't think that they would want somebody to be able to pull up their address and knock on their door and ask for an autograph. Doesn't it give you a little bit of anonymity if it's done correctly?
It does give you a lot of anonymity because, number one, especially if you die, that's kind of more so when you're afraid to have people know about your business. And if your estate goes through probate, it's a public record. So anybody can find out about your business, who you cared about, who you didn't care about, who you left stuff to, who you didn't. That can be kind of a nightmare in con men. And and other nefarious types of persons can try to contact your heirs, and that's kind of dangerous. We even had a professional athlete that we created an LLC for some time ago when he was entering the minor leagues for baseball, and he had us create an LLC for him to further add to the anonymity that he was seeking.
Right.
So good point.
You're listening to Nelson Radio. We're with Greg Reese, the president of AmeriEstate Legal Plan, and talking about the importance, the what if. Something happens, life gets in the way. You need that kind of foresight and becoming better as your financial statement grows. Brett, I want to ask you, because, and all kidding aside, you had an illustrious NFL career. Did you get that kind of coaching on the financial side of your career in terms of building for your retirement, having an estate plan in place to protect the assets that you earned?
I did not, and it was it's something that I wish I had had access to. Later in life, I did employ an estate planning attorney and got everything straightened out, and it actually did take care of some things that came up that I was not expecting. I think that everybody, from first-time homeowner to seasoned homeowner, it's just something that it's just another piece of the pie that has to be,
dealt with.
That's right.
Greg, let me ask you this question. Another common scenario, husband and wife, second marriage, they have children from their first marriage. Now they're blending financial statements and protecting assets. That's complex.
That is complex, and it tends to be very confusing for the customers involved because you have a new couple that are entering into a secondary relationship after they've been married before and probably had kids before, and they are focused on two big things in their lives. One is, how do I make sure I protect the financial security of my spouse should something happen?
Called a prenup.
Easy.
Or post-up. And secondarily, how do I protect a legacy for my children from my first marriage? So it does get very confusing, and they often need some guidance and some experience to help work through those issues.
I want to ask you one last quick question here. Estate planning. Grandparents or parents looking back at their maybe kids or grandkids, and they have an estate that they're passing on, but using that to incentivize those grandchildren to actually earn their way into the estate. Is that something that's common?
That is something that's actually common. A lot of people think about doing a will or a trust, and it's going to be a simple division between my children, and it's all fairly matter of fact. But nowadays, people are more interested in incentivizing their children and trying to see that they will reach some accomplishments or dreams that they have for them, and using their trust as a way to incentivize those types of things.
It's a complex issue. We're barely skipping across the tips of the iceberg. I'm trying to figure out how to incentivize my co-host, Brett Miller. I want to thank you, though, for joining us. Greg Reese, AmeriEstate Legal Plan. They're one of our vetted out professionals. They do what they say they're going to do, consummate professionals, and will be able to help you become better in protecting your financial statement. Give us a call, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. We'll be right back. Offer extended. Offer not accepted. Extended. Not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my mortgage market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with a peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Today's rate, protected and waiting for you to purchase your perfect house. Call or click, take advantage of my mortgage experience. 888-888-2136 and lock in your rate. That's 888-888-2136. Squash fear from perhaps the most important decision, your home. 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.